So I've had a 9 AM lecture and I've been rained on. That's how you know it's a Monday. So if you're at Oxford and you study biomedical sciences or medicine, you spend your final term of your second year in the lab. You then have to write up your project, and this is worth 25% of your degree, which is a lot. So I spent most of my last week attempting to read for my dissertation, so I figured I'd try to explain that. The difficulty being that my lab project is on a very tiny niche area of science in really high detail, so I'm going to attempt today to make that more applicable and understandable. Right, roll up the sleeves. My lab project was on the characterization and microRNA analysis of endothelial-derived microvesicles in inflammation. Now, many of those words you probably won't understand unless you're at degree level. Let's start by explaining the terms. MicroRNA. Does everyone know what DNA is? Oh wait, you can't answer questions. So DNA is the material inside every cell in a human body, or in any organism, that determines what that cell does. It does this by controlling the protein expression in those cells. So what happens is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, is turned into messenger RNA. This is a message which is taken to ribosomes, which transcribe the messenger RNA into protein. The protein expression of a human cell determines what that cell does, what it is, and overall across the human body, everything that makes you who you are. Other than messenger RNA, there are many other types of RNA in the human cell. These include transfer RNA, which collects amino acids to make up the proteins, small interfering RNA, which chops up pieces of mRNA, and microRNA, which isn't very well known. MicroRNA are very tiny RNAs, and what they do is they form a complex with protein and interfere with the transcription of the messenger RNA. They can either just prevent the messenger RNA from getting to the ribosomes, or they can break it down. So, microRNA controls gene expression by messenger RNA regulation. Everyone following that? So let's go. Endothelial-derived vesicles. Endothelial cells are the cells which line your blood vessels. These are important in how contracted or relaxed your blood vessels are, which controls blood pressure, as well as being incredibly important in cell communication between the blood vessel and the blood cells. In short, the blood cells are your red blood cells and multiple different types of white blood cells. It's the white blood cells that are important to what I'm doing. We believe that the endothelial cells release these small, tiny lipid bubbles. A vesicle is like a lipid bubble that contains microRNA, and that these microRNA is then transported in the vesicles to the white blood cells, and we believe that mediates inflammation. So I spent most of my Trinity term of last year figuring out whether or not this is occurring. The answer? Maybe. So in my project I cultured some cells, I extracted the vesicles from the extracellular environment in both control and inflammatory conditions, and tried to figure out both if the microRNA in the vesicles was different and if they caused different things to happen to the white blood cells. And this term I've been just reading around that topic. I basically spent my week going through different scientific papers and highlighting the relevant information so that I can increase my general knowledge around the project, which will help me with my write-up. Okay, I hope that made sense. I have been doing some fun stuff this week as well. I had parents' dinner. I had a bop, which was 7 Deadly Sins themed, in which I came as Envy and wore these creepy contact lenses. And on Sunday, I met the other Oxvlog members.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have to be very careful about who I choose to be which superhero though.
Oh, I thought you were taking the piss. Hey, let's hang out.
I might put Daniel as
Very
because it's the least.
Yes.
And I went to the American football game at Wembley, complete with football fans, cheerleaders, mascots, good food, my family, my boyfriend, and of course, American football itself. Okay, that's it for me for this week. But I'd also just like to wish Zanny a happy birthday today, and I will see you all next week. Bye guys. Are you laughing at me? Boyfriend.